723 Hathaway Drive, 1070, 80915. I think there's a backlash that's actually occurring across Colorado and the whole nation. And in Colorado, it's developing against the state of Colorado for their absurd way they're treating local governments and people's rights. And I think it's become more clear here because of some of your questions and comments that the game's rigged. The state is in bed with the oil and gas industry. That's why, as Bernie pointed out, we've got this absurd situation where we're being told we can't even zone where industry is supposed to be. It's nuts. I'd like to suggest, in addition to joining with other public officials in supporting Longmont, that you also consider, which you never have before, this rights-based ordinance that other places like Pittsburgh have passed. They started out with only 2 yes votes. When they passed it, it was unanimous, and they have not been sued. They were able to stop all this nonsense. You could do the same thing. If you don't do it, the citizens are going to do it. I think it's interesting that even though we could have thousands of wells in the future if we open this door, that other than the citizens, there's been almost no attention placed on what's it going to do to tourism. The Colorado Springs Business Journal recently had an article, Drilling Jobs. No mention. You know, it was all, it looked more like a paid advertisement from the oil and gas industry. It was ridiculous. I call it propaganda. The UCCS study of oil and gas drilling, not a word about tourism. I didn't read every page. It's 250 pages long, but Eric and I spent hours going through that thing. I swear, nothing on tourism. That's voodoo economics. They're using statistics from the industry. How reliable are those statistics as far as jobs and so on? Angela Dugan, you said in the past that, you gotta be kidding. Well, you know, your defense of the oil and gas industry and saying that it's, and Lay is in a similar boat, that it's overly protected or overly regulated when it's exempt from the Clean Water Act or major provisions of the Clean Water Act, the Clean Air Act. My industry isn't protected from those things. Most industries are not. Why is this industry favored? What's the matter here? This is a very powerful industry that's getting its rights and taking our rights away. That's why we call these rights ordinances, and these rights ordinances and amendments we're pushing for are based on the police powers of local government, not regulation. It's a different kind of law.
Lotus, I'm going to ask you to wrap your comments up, please.
Okay. Last thing I want to say is that there was a survey in the Independent back, I believe, in January. 47% of respondents were not very confident that sufficient safeguards will be in place to prevent widespread groundwater pollution from local fracking. 33% were somewhat confident, and only 14% were very confident. In other words, if we get this on the ballot, we're going to win.